I'm Dr. Tom Hansen of yipsbegone.com and Play Big Academy. I have, for the past 5 or 6 years, been working a lot with people with the yips, primarily baseball players, but a lot of golfers, some tennis players, occasional basketball player, anyone who's got something going on. I mean, I've worked with guitar players, cowboys, you name it. Anyone, it can show up in almost any activity where you get this kind of spastic thing that it feels like an anxiety, feels like a lot of fear, a lot of tension, and it's really just miserable. And it's normally happens in whatever is the simplest part of the game. Whatever is the simplest part of the game becomes the most difficult. In fact, it keeps you up at night. So, what are the yips? Basically, if you just go to yipsbegone.com and just read the comments from people who have gone through that site, there's like 150 or 170 or something that are there now. And if you look through the site and you go, that's me, then that's the yips. You have the yips. I find people self-selected. I certainly don't spend any time whatsoever diagnosing the yips. Do you have the yips? I mean, are you do you it's just always going to be a matter of degree. Everybody chokes to some degree. It's just a matter of how much you do it, and are you past your tolerance level? Do you choke and deal with anxiety and tension and fear more than you want? Well, you could call that the yips. Now there is a thing that they talk about, especially the Mayo Clinic talks about focal dystonia, and I can't tell you off the top of my head what that is. I just don't. It doesn't come into play for me. I don't worry about that. I hear of a research where a guy found that there's a very small percentage of people, maybe five, actually have some physiological thing wrong with them. That is like, well, okay, well that's, I think, the focal dystonia. That is like, okay, there's something wrong with you, like neurologically. In a vast majority of the cases, it is a psychological or emotional thing. That's how it occurs to most people. To me, it's in a person's energy field. It's in a person's emotional body. It's like a psychological injury to an emotional body. Most commonly, though, I describe it as a blockage. We all have an energy system. We all have a field of energy around us. And when that gets blocked, then you have problems. It's like you're on a highway and a tanker tips over. All of a sudden, it's blocked, and you'll have to take a detour, and it's messed up your route. Well, it's the same thing. It's like, hey, throw the ball to that guy. It comes out fine, but then it runs into traffic along the way. So I don't even see this as a mental thing. I don't see it as an in your head thing. I see it more as, again, in your energetic body and how things are moving through your body. So it's as if there's a traffic jam in your body that's just causing you to that, or with the putter, or with whatever it is that you're doing, there's some kind of block to it. And what you need is an emotional plumber, or an emotional tow truck, or emotional laxative, whatever metaphor you want to use to of something that's blocked needs to get unblocked. And the reason that very few people are able to help people, or are able to help you, we'll say, if you've got the yips, then and that's because they're not using they're not addressing the problem where it actually lies. It's like the person in the traffic jam, and you call them and you say, hey, just sit up straight and put your hands at 10 and 2 in the wheel. And they'll look at you, because it's like, well, that's not addressing where the problem actually is. So if someone teaches you, say, mechanics, or a new grip, or a new drill, that is not actually addressing the problem where it lies. It's like, if I've got a problem with my lawn, if I've got weeds in my lawn, and someone says you need a new lawnmower, well, that's not it. That's not, you just know that that is not addressing what's actually going on. So those are a few of my comments that say, well, what are the yips? It's like, well, it's a phobia. It's something that is blocking you from having the channels in your body open. When you're playing great, it's like there's a flow, there's an ease, and everything is moving. And when you are having the yips, it's just an extreme case of blockage, be that a constipation or a traffic jam. Again, it is whatever you would like, whatever metaphor you'd like to have. So, in my sense, in my experience over the past several years, and I've been in the first 3 months of 2013, I worked with almost, I think, almost in the low 60s of players, of different individual players with this. So it's just like swamped with people to actually work one-on-one with. So again, I don't really worry about any definition. If someone's unhappy with the way they're playing, that's yippish enough for me. So I'm Dr. Tom Hansen. Check out more at yipsbegone.com.